What's up, Yellow Jackets fans? Anchorpete here, and I'm with my wife, Shari T.
Hello.
And we are finally here. We are at the finale for episode 10, and it's season... I'm just all messed up because of what we just saw, Shari.
Season 1.
Season 1, episode 10. It's got a crazy title, too.
It's Latin.
It's Latin, which essentially translates into...
It's SIC TRANSIT GLORIA, and it means glory fades.
Thank you. And hopefully you guys are going to fade tonight watching this live with us at this late hour. On the Anchorpete channel, we like to discuss the movies, TV shows, and books that you might have heard about, but not enough people are talking about. And now it's time for one of our favorite shows to come to an end, at least for now.
At least for now.
At least for now. So, Shari, this episode to me just felt like one big, like, we're waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Oh.
Is that how you felt?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. Did you think it was a good episode?
I guess the end, because the season finale always has a big kind of what the fuck kind of moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there was one really strong emotional moment that was very upsetting and sad, but then the what the fuck moments weren't that exciting for me.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Well, you're being cryptic too. Like, what is this emotional? I mean, just
sure.
say, yeah.
All right. Let's just go into spoilers. Usually when we discuss this show with you guys in the comments too, we usually like to go like girl by girl and talk about each of the 4 main characters. But I think tonight, let's just jump into spoilers, especially the ending, and then we can talk about the 4 girls. Okay?
Also, remember to like and subscribe if you've been with us and are following along, because we'd love to have you back.
Dude, yeah, the comments are great. And, we've made some, like, virtual friends with some of you guys since then, Like, here on my, I gotta get this, on my nipple over here is a little picture that one of our followers, Ralph, I gotta make sure I get his last name right, Bednarski, right?
He's an artist.
He's an artist, and I follow him on Instagram, and he made this, I just gotta peel it off, but look at this.
Yeah, show it. He made that.
He made this, it's like backwards, but it's like, there's no book club, right? So he made this cool little sticker, and you can get it at his his website. You can get it on a T-shirt and stuff. I would have got it
if we'd had time to have it shipped and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Shari, I'm a mumbling fool over here because I'm just so eager to talk about this finale.
Okay.
All right. So you ready?
Yeah.
What's gonna stick with me from this finale is just Jackie and the way that she died. That was pretty rough for me.
You think she's dead?
She's 1,000% dead.
What makes you so sure?
Or what, is she going to be preserved and they like bring her back to life? I'm pretty sure she kicked the bucket.
I thought maybe she's just cold and has hypothermia.
Okay.
Okay, here's my problem. I can't believe they're going to kill her off that way. I mean, it would lay a lot of guilt on everyone.
Right.
I think it's so far from what I imagined happening with Jackie that I can't accept it. Yeah. And I'd love to know what everyone else thinks. Do you think Jackie's really dead? They left it ambiguous, right?
Oh, look at this. Joey with the comment of the night. Jackie more like Jack Torrance. Oh, nice little Shining reference there.
Yeah, she did look.
Appreciate that.
She was blue, but her eyes were closed.
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel like there is room for Jackie to be alive.
They did just slaughter a bear and take all of its fur. They absolutely could wrap that bear fur around her and stick her in front of a fireplace, right? Thaw her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when people are freezing in the midst of freezing to death and have hypothermia, they do look blue and all of that. I mean, I don't know if they have snow on their face.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree she looked dead. I'm having a hard time accepting that's it.
Uh-oh.
To me, I would say that's it. That's how Jackie deceases.
Deceases. That's how.
Is that a...
Well,
is that a word? I mean...
So yeah, well, let's talk about that though. So Kay Citraro says she's gone. Okay. So she and I are on the same page.
Okay.
So one thing I want to point out about this show, right? This show has some really brutal scenes. There's a lot of disturbing stuff. The opening was particularly disturbing. But I almost feel like it's not as upsetting as we always think it's going to be. And it's very possible that that's the way that she died. That she wasn't killed and slaughtered and they ate her corpse. I mean, they still could eat her corpse, right? But I feel like...
maybe that's how they get started.
Yeah.
That is what happens in the movie Alive, which is based on a true story, is that a plane crashed and they were in the snowy mountains and they they resorted to cannibalism, but they only ate people who were dead, and they froze their bodies.
Okay.
To preserve them so they could eat them.
Yeah.
It could be how it begins with these girls, I guess.
Yeah, but unless you have more to say about Jackie's death, then there's the other what the fuck moment from the finale.
Okay.
Well, there's a couple. There's the one with TAISSA too, but the other one I think is the real juicy moment is right after Jackie's death scene. They cut to Juliette Lewis, older NATALIE, about to shoot herself in the head with a rifle.
Yeah, which was so sad.
I thought they were going to do that. I thought they were going to show her blow her.
Right. We have speculated that she might die at the end of the season.
Yeah. But she goes to kill herself, and these cultist-looking people burst into her hotel room and kidnap her, and they have the symbol.
They have the symbol.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they look like maybe they've even like shaved their heads and stuff, right? At least one of them looks like he doesn't have any hair on him.
I didn't get a good look at him. I mean, I think it was hard to get a good look at him.
Yeah.
There's four people came in and kidnapped NATALIE.
Yeah.
And saved her from her own suicide, but we'll see what she's in store for. Also, another interesting thing is that NATALIE is getting a phone call at the same time she's being kidnapped from her former sponsor, Susie, who she has blackmailed into looking into Travis's bank account situation.
Yeah.
And Susie is saying, who the fuck is Lottie Matthews?
Right.
Very interesting. Do you think Lottie is behind this?
Oh, man, yeah. Lottie is rising in power, and that's the very last shot of the whole episode, right? Is like she's becoming this queen of the forest, you know?
Yeah, and she's embracing, like, her own spirit religion thing, and some of the girls are definitely falling in line. In fact, encouraging it. Van said, Lottie, will you do the grace?
Right.
Will you do the prayer?
And it starts off kind of normal, and then it just gets weirder and weirder, right?
What does?
Her little prayer that she does over the bear meat.
Oh.
Right? Because she says something like, you know, we're lucky that we're here, or some kind of generic thing. Then she says, we're thankful for the bear spirit for giving up their food, or to sacrificing themselves to be the food.
I mean, so you think that's weird?
No, I think that one's normal. But then she says something else about like the god of the dirt and the darkness. She says some kind of shit like that.
Yeah, if anyone remembers exactly what, let us know. There's definitely something about the dirt.
Yeah, I should have wrote that one down.
I didn't think it was that strange, because that's kind of like how the Indians, you know, Native Americans thought of things in the past. They would be thankful to more like the gods of nature.
Yeah.
For giving them their bounty, for instance. So I didn't think it was that strange. I thought she was just sort of resorting to that natural nature is our God, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Which I think when nature is controlling so much of your life, the colds, the heat, your water, your food, you do start to like think of it as you need to be thankful when it gives you something, you know?
Yes.
So I don't think it was that strange, but it does help us understand where they're going.
Yes.
And why there's going to be some like kind of worship and anyway.
So let's see, because we're getting a bunch of comments tonight so far. We got Desi joining up. Haha, she's definitely dead. Maybe she'll come back in spirit. Considering in her dream, they said she finally came when she's drinking the hot chocolate.
I think she's been dreaming of having some hot chocolate all along.
Yes. Desi, you bring up one other point that I want to ask to you all, right? Because one thing I want you guys to keep in mind, too, is that we watch the show. We set up the video, and then we just talk, right? So, like, we don't rewatch it or anything like that.
And we don't discuss it with each other until right now.
Who the fuck is the guy that said, we've been waiting for you for so long? Who's that? Is that the coach that died in the plane crash? Is that the man that they found the corpse of in the attic? That's
what I thought. It was like the French guy who was there previously and who was dead before any of them met him. But it's, I mean, I don't think anyone really could know, really. At this point. So it's all speculation, but I'd love to hear what y'all think.
Yeah, well, with everyone, what they all think, Joey's on here again saying they may use her body as a sacrifice for their rituals. That's poor Jackie.
Remember, I was talking about how there's a lot of sacrifice in this episode.
Yes. Yeah, that was going to be the thumbnail title. Right? Yeah. And then, let's see, I think they will use her to spill blood. Okay, yeah, like it's kind of like they're going to the dark side. Now Joey is just like bringing the jokes tonight over here. I would join Lottie's cult for the loungewear alone. There you go. And then Jock. How the fuck do you say it? Jock, right? That's how you say his name in French. All right. And then felt like the pilot. Okay, Thomas said that.
Yeah, Jacques is the Frenchman that they found dead in the attic.
Yeah, and then sorry if I don't pronounce your screen names right. That scene with the guy was really scary. My guess is he's the cabin guy.
He would be the original dead guy, you know,
Yeah.
of all of them, the one who died before any of them.
Yeah.
So I do think that makes sense.
Joey had made that comment that connected it to The Shining, and that kind of reminded me of The Shining. The guy saying, like, we're so glad you're here with us. You know, it's like the Overlook Motel or hotel talking like that. And it also kind of reminded me a little bit of like David Lynch and like Bob, like that kind of like that spirit.
From Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
It was creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess if she's not dead, she definitely was dead momentarily or briefly.
Right.
Because that was a death scene, right? She was dead.
Yeah.
For everyone to tell her, I love you and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And for her to get her hot chocolate finally, which they don't have.
Did you for a second think that it wasn't like a death scene and that like they were inviting her in because they were going to kill her? Like, did you? For
a second, I did think like that they had come to some sort of conclusion. Just for a second, though. Most of the time I knew it couldn't be happening because they had already showed Shauna decide not to go out there and she went to bed.
Right.
And that seemed kind of final and done. So I knew kind of for the most part that something was.
Yeah.
Like, I thought she was dreaming maybe.
Right. He, like the, what do you call it? The coach being there to me was like the sign that she was dreaming, right? Because like he wouldn't have just welcomed her in to kill her if they were like trying to set her up. They were like too nice to her. And then it was like, oh, they tried.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been too big a change for all of them. I mean, everybody was kind of like, or most of them were kind of like, Jackie, don't go out there, but only half-heartedly. But they weren't so far gone that they're like, we're going to eat you now. You know, it wasn't like they hadn't made that transition at all. I actually think one of the biggest reveals of this episode, if you want to start talking about the girls now.
Yes, let's go to girl to girl.
To me, the most, I thought the most horrific thing was them cutting up Adam's, is it Adam?
Adam's we keep thinking
body.
Javi, but I don't think that's Javi.
I know, but then I talk about Travis and I just kind of get the okay. Anyway, Adam. I thought that was horrific where they have to like cut up his body, and they're so cool about it. They're just like, yeah, you remember how to do this, and they're having this whole discussion while she's sawing off an arm. Is just like really gruesome, and I had a hard time with that.
Yeah.
But then something even more disgusting happens, which is TAISSA's wife.
Oh yeah, you got freaked out by that one. Yeah.
Well, I always know TAISSA's got some shit going on, but it just, the more they reveal, the more creepy I find her secret life. It's pretty disturbing.
Yeah. Did you think that she was going to lose? Like when they kept talking about her losing the
race? No. I kind of thought she was going to win, and just because she shouldn't. Because she has so many like mental issues right now. Right. She shouldn't be running for Senate. She shouldn't be a senator.
Yeah.
However, of course, she's going to get it. You know, so I kind of was like, I see that coming. But then what the wife finds, she has like a secret hidden room.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Back behind the furnace and an altar set up. So
that was some like Blair Witch secret, you know, room with a nice wall.
Yeah. Okay, so what all was on the altar? Let's talk about it.
So there was the symbol. There was the head of the dog.
The missing dog.
There was the dog's heart. You said that the heart looked like it was too big to be.
I thought it was maybe a human heart. And like, I guess I kind of considered that maybe she took Travis's heart.
Yeah.
They did just dismember him.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that could be. She like snuck his heart out.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't.
Also, the broken doll was on the altar.
Oh, okay. Did you for a second think that she was going to find something supernatural in there? Like the guy without the eyes?
No. Remember, like I did say, we watch it next to each other. We mostly don't talk, but I did say, oh, the dog. You know, I was expecting the dog, but I wasn't expecting like this setup altar that showed that she's still back there with the crazy religion that whatever Lottie's setting up. You know, we don't know yet how far they're going to go, but it looks pretty far. They believe in making sacrifices.
Yeah, I think there is going to be a distinction between the survivors, and maybe some are fully bought into Lottie, and maybe some are not.
Yeah, right? That's probably going to be the rift.
Right.
And notice that when a lot of the stuff with Lottie was going on, Nat and Travis and Javi were not present.
Right, all the kind of like the good ones. Like
and also
pure ones.
Jackie's a skeptic. The coach is a skeptic.
Oh, and then she was outside.
Yeah.
They're just kind of losing all those people that don't buy in, essentially. Yeah.
And TAISSA doesn't buy in, but she's with Van, and they have an important conversation about Van's like, if this is going to be a problem for you, my spiritual belief, then, well, I guess we can't be together. And TAISSA's like, no, I think she doesn't want to lose Van.
Yeah.
You know, so she's like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
And that might be why TAISSA kind of converts.
They're really like building up that like Van is like the true love of her life, and that, you know, that influenced her. That no one compares to her, Van, right?
I mean, I don't know if I see that, but I think Van is important to her, and I think what the real love in this show right now is Travis and Natalie.
Yeah.
And they reunite in this episode.
Yeah, that was a really great scene too.
I got tears in my eyes.
He was real, you know, obstinate. He wasn't nice to her. He was just kind of talking back to her. But then he was like, I fucking love you. And yeah, that got to me too.
He said, I'm sorry first,
sorry.
You know, which is what he needed to say. And
Yeah.
she didn't even ask for it. She was forgiving already. Because I was kind of like, does she know he slept with Jackie?
Yeah.
But he starts to tell her, and she's like, it's okay. You know, whatever went on back there. She's like so understanding because she knows they're all on shrooms and that they had a fight. And I just really appreciate, again, how wise young Natalie is and how she's able to put like things that ultimately aren't important behind her and like look at the things that matter, like her love for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really good. It was really good when he finally let go and like confessed to her. It made me so happy.
Yeah. So we were doing our TAISSA breakdown. Is there more you want to say about TAISSA, or do you want to go on to another person?
No, I don't know.
Okay, you still feeling that?
I was all into Natalie and Travis, like, and you're just like back to TAISSA.
I wanted to show you guys too. We actually bought champagne to celebrate the last episode, but then it's like it just was so sad with Jackie that like I didn't feel like coming on and being all excited.
I'll have a drink.
You'll have a drink.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not sad about Jackie.
I'm a little scared. While I'm having the drink, Sherry, are you able to like click on the comments too? We could just address them.
I mean, I kind of want to shield myself from whatever you're about to pop.
This is live, so this is marriage ending stuff right here potentially. Let's see. All right, hold on.
Please open it.
Hey, not bad. It didn't even shoot out or anything like that all over the recording equipment.
Yay.
Yeah. Here's to you guys who've been watching this with us for so long. So anyway,
it's like we're at the reunion.
Yes, we're at the high school reunion.
Oh, I want to talk about the reunion.
That was fucking fabulous. Let's talk about it.
I kind of loved the reunion scenes because even though they didn't want to be there, it was actually pretty fun. I thought it's like the music they played, the scene where they walk in slow motion, the three of them, and then Misty runs over and joins them. I just loved that. I got chills. I mean, I think I've been waiting for that kind of moment the entire season.
Yeah, where they're all badass and they're all together.
Yeah. Even though like their lives are really fucked up and they went through horrible things, they're able to walk in that reunion and hold their heads high, and everybody's staring at them and talking about them, possibly envying them. The entire projection show that they put on at the reunion is about the Yellow Jackets. Yeah. So it made me happy.
Yeah, and they were playing Offspring. You got to keep them separated, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was so good. I was so pumped. And they did that sort of that split screen effect that we kind of see in Fargo.
Oh yeah, I love a split screen. I love a split screen, and it was just them like looking proud and people whispering and staring. Yeah.
That's Christina Ricci.
That was a good fantasy moment, I thought.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to Yellow Jackets.
There you go. So let's get some of these comments in here. Was that the dog's heart or Travis's heart? That's what we're thinking. And then Kay Satara says, too big for a dog.
That's what I think. I think she took Travis's heart. It's so ugh.
Yeah. Lottie is what happens when you take a schizophrenic off her meds and feed her shrooms. Well, it's a pretty scary combination, I guess. The whole show is about the damage that life events and treatment of them affects who they are now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely about trauma and
Yes, and I'm glad you say that because I never want to miss the point.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in all the
speculation.
Well, speculation and just like the shocking stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it is really about trauma.
Yeah, absolutely. Thomas C says cheers. Oh yes, okay, good. And
have a drink with us if you have something nearby.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's milk.
Here you go. And why was Allie at the reunion and that Jersey accent? That's what Joey said. I am so glad you brought that up, Joey, because I am from Staten Island, which is like very much, New Jersey 2.0, right? And her accent kind of bothered me. It was like super strong. But unfortunately, kind of where I'm from, that is.
I was gonna say a lot of your family sounds just like that.
Yeah. So her accent was like off the charts. But that's the girl who TAISSA broke her leg in the first episode.
Right. So that's why she avoided the plane crash.
Yeah.
And I think she almost seems envious that she didn't get a B in it. You know, she keeps telling everybody I was almost on that plane, you know, and I think she feels like she missed out or something. So she has no idea, really.
Right. And then this one, Case Tar has a really great point, too. Weems is right. How did Allie become class of 96? She was a younger grade, wasn't she? Right? I don't know much about Allie. I don't know. She might have worked at the school. She was kind of making it sound like maybe she worked at the school.
She did seem to be in charge.
Yeah.
And maybe she just like inserted herself in there because she was a yellow jacket also.
Yeah. And then this one believes that could be Adam's heart. And that's kind of what you were saying before too. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead.
Speaking of hearts. Okay. So we have that final scene of Lottie making her sacrifice to the tree stump. It seems to be the spot where sacrifices are going to be made. It's a really big heart. You think it's the bear's heart, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That's not the human heart. No.
Okay. For a second, I was like, if Jackie's dead.
Oh, no. It'd be the bear's heart. Yeah. She wouldn't carry it like with two hands. It was like a little pillow, you know.
By the way, I want to
get some kind of condition or something.
I want to bring up that when they kill the bear and the bear bows to freaking Lottie. What did you think about that?
That was fucking weird.
That was weird. How did she have this power to make a bear not attack or anything, you know?
Yeah, I think that was the one moment where it felt a little, oh no, this could go off, you know, this could jump the shark right here. Because when she stabbed the bear in the head, it didn't like lash out or anything. It just sort of died. And it goes along
I thought she stabbed it like in the shoulder.
Oh, really? I took it as like, sort of like right here.
It would have to be an important spot.
Yeah. But TAISSA even says that the bear was sort of going crazy, or it was, you know, it was in a bad place essentially when it came to the camp, and that's why it just sort of died in front of Lot.
Maybe so. All the animals in the forest seem to have some sort of problem.
Yeah. So, it was like a little too much. I just think like her stabbing it must have been on its way to dying. But that is a really weird coincidence that it walked like right up to her and lay down.
I thought it meant she has some sort of power.
Yeah.
Like she's Mother Nature, you know, something like that is going on. I feel like something spiritual and her communing with nature is going on.
Yeah.
And I think all the girls are going to start going that direction. But what I just want to say, a little side note, I was like, bear meat, who eats bear? I've never heard of that.
Sure.
So I actually looked it up and in the brief amount of time I had, and it said that it can totally be eaten. It's kind of like venison, which is deer, and it's similar texture to pork. Okay, so that just satisfied my curiosity about what does bear taste like. I've never met anyone who told me they ate bear. I didn't know.
Yeah, well,
did you?
No,
it's never on a menu or anything.
No, but it is interesting that Lottie was saying we're not going to be hungry for much longer, and the bear shows up the next day. So
yeah, and that's her psychic ability.
That goes along with your idea of her having powers, you know. So we did TAISSA, and we essentially did kind of talk about Natalie as well. There's maybe one other point I wanted to bring up about Natalie too, which is that it seemed like she was convinced that Travis had committed suicide by the end of the episode, right?
Well, Shauna has that, you know, the gory bathtub scene. They're having this like serious conversation, and Sean is just like, you know, maybe that's all that happened. You know, maybe there isn't more to it. And it would behoove Shauna to say that to Natalie, of course, because she's trying to cover up, you know, that Adam had anything to do with it. You know, she has a whole lie about Adam going on to the girls, right?
Right.
So Natalie doesn't know that though, and she actually kind of listens to Shauna, I think, and takes what she says to heart and really considers it and maybe starts to believe it.
Yeah. And
major manipulation by Shauna.
Right, because Natalie was saying, hey, I want to look at this guy's phone. I want to see what's going on with this guy, with Adam. And now, essentially, if everything went according to plan, they've destroyed Adam's phone. They've destroyed Shauna's phone. And so there's no way to trace him back. Maybe he was involved with this cult, right?
Yeah, we will now know nothing about Adam, which I'm sort of frustrated by, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, especially with all the speculation about him possibly being Javi. I mean, now we'll know nothing about him because she killed him. Maybe he just really was Adam. Adam Martin, the
this
art
artist.
you know, maybe that's all it was, but
Right.
I wish I could feel more sure.
Yeah, well, that could be our transition into the Shauna section, because one of the things I thought was the most intriguing about this finale was that you have Shauna and Jeff sitting on the couch at the very end, and they're watching TV, and they're all happy. It seems like they've turned a corner in their marriage, and then the daughter comes in, and this is totally like a loose end that I hadn't even considered. I hadn't even thought about, hey, the daughter knows about Adam, and then she sees the news report about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, oh, shit. My parents seem pretty happy.
Right.
This guy's missing.
So there's like this dark cloud over there. I think they're, part of me was kind of like, what are they so fucking happy about? This is so twisted, you know? They've gone through like hell this past 48 hours or whatever. He knows she killed someone. He knows she cleaned it up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm really interested in Jeff and what he feels towards Shauna, knowing what he knows about her.
Right.
I'm just like, I mean, maybe that's some level of love I don't understand, or maybe there's something else going on. But yeah, so I was kind of disturbed that they were having such a nice time hanging out, but maybe it was relief, the feeling that they've gotten away with it, you know, and the reunion's over, they got through all this stuff and they can just relax.
Yeah. I think that just if we're going to go down the speculation road, and then you're saying like, well, what does Jeff really know about her, and how does that affect how he thinks about her?
Yeah, I've been wondering.
I kind of go back and forth thinking that like maybe some of them do go down this dark path and truly eat others, and then the others are able to like survive and not resort to that, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe for a few it's sort of like up in the air. Are they going to go to one side or the other? And I think Shauna, it seems like, oh man, obviously she's such a butcher, a killer. She would be the easy cannibal, right? Mm-hmm. But maybe she's not. And like right over here, if you look at TAISSA Chitraro's quote right here, at the end you see Misty and Van kneel to Antler Queen Lottie. Does that mean they will do as Lottie asks? And I think that for that, the only one that we've seen in that sacrifice time in the very first episode
is Misty.
And that's when she you know, has that smile on her face, and she's
definitely going along with Lottie. Yeah.
Right. So maybe at some point she's able to get away from that group and just the four return home and they're the survivors. But maybe it's possible that if you look at her journals, like if Jeff looked at Shauna's journals, maybe her stuff isn't as gory as you might expect. You know, and as dark.
I'd like to know what's in there.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what he has read and what he really knows.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do you have anything else you want to say about Shauna?
No, I guess I liked her more in this episode than I normally do. I really like that conversation that she had at the beginning that you mentioned before with Natalie, where she talks about how it seems like all the light has gone out in the world. And I felt really bad for...
It's depression.
I felt really bad for young Shauna at the end. You know, that scene was so well done, where she looks out the window, she sees Jackie, and then she finds Jackie's body, and she's just like screaming.
It's funny, like the things that affect you are not the same things that affect me, but that's cool, you know.
Well, because I'm on Team Jackie. Like it seemed like everybody was not on Team Jackie in the cabin tonight, but I still feel for her and care about her. Mm-hmm. So I felt bad.
I'm sorry for your loss, then. Yes,
and so let's look at some more comments real quick. Jessica Roberts said that Travis was murdered. That is true. And then she said right here, I wish I knew everything the reporter Misty killed. Seems she knew more about Travis. That's from Sylvia Ray.
And we need to talk about Misty.
Yes, and we will in a second. But one thing I wanted to bring up based on these comments is that a lot of this episode was like sort of almost like destroying evidence to where you could learn more about what's going on behind the scenes. Like they destroy Adam's phone, so now you can't learn more about Adam and what he was truly doing. Mm-hmm. You know, and then they kill Jessica Roberts, so you can't learn more about what's going on with her, right? So
it's a little frustrating as a viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you want answers, they're like kind of cutting that off. You're not going to find out here.
Yes.
You're not going to find out here. I'm not sure why they're doing that.
And then Riku or whatever says, I wasn't too convinced that Adam was Javi, but then younger Travis says that he's going to find Javi. The next scene transitions to Adam's dead body. I did notice that during the episode, too.
We may still find out that he is, and the girls just simply never recognized him.
Yeah. And boy, that would be real disturbing, right? Yeah, it's like this guy that was with them for this major event, and they just killed him.
Well, that's what I was mad Shauna killed him so quickly last episode, because like now you'll never know. It's frustrating. Okay, let's talk about Misty.
Let's go. I'm ready let's do some Misty together.
Okay, Misty, young Misty.
Young Misty.
I don't know that there's a whole lot, except that we see that she's on board with Lottie and the whole idea of spiritualism and nature and thanking him. She also gets mad at Coach. She has an outburst, right?
Yeah. With young Misty, essentially, the very beginning of the episode is different from the end of the episode for young Misty, right? The very beginning is everyone's pointing fingers at her. They're ready to exile her the way that they exiled Jackie. But luckily, Jackie kind of takes over as the villain, and they exile Jackie instead. Yeah,
maybe Jackie's a distraction there. But like, I thought that was bullshit. They're blaming Misty because that one girl did take the mushrooms and stick them in the soup. It's as much her fault as anyone's.
Yeah.
And that, like, everybody at camp knows that. You know, they know that Misty didn't deliberately set out to poison them. Although I thought it was very funny when Misty was like, they were all for Coach Ben. And he's like, Jesus, what were you going to do to me, you know? There's like that little moment, as always, or something funny with Misty. But present day Misty had a lot going on.
Yes, she comes in and goes to cover up the body. She has this whole plan. She explains a lot of details. If you ever want to kill someone and get away with it, got a couple of good tips in this episode, right?
Yeah. It was like a how-to for killing someone. Yikes.
Yeah. She knows what materials to get from her, like nursing home that she works at. And she knows the fact that like a lot of killers, I think she said like 16% get busted because they buy cleaning supplies.
Yeah.
Right? Before they do their murder.
I think after they do their murder, it's clean up.
Yeah. Then she says, okay, well, torsos don't matter, but like the head and the hands matter. And so she puts it in the casket, which I'm assuming she killed that 89-year-old woman then, right?
Do you think she killed her from the first episode? Remember in the very first episode, she denies her meds? That's how we're introduced to older Misty.
Right.
Do you think it's from that?
Like that her denying her meds like then killed her?
Yeah, or that it's been going on the whole time. Yeah, something like that. You're saying she killed her. Like, what makes you think that? Is it from that one episode?
Okay, so I think that she denied her pain meds, not like meds that would necessarily, like, if she didn't take them, she'd die.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes me think that Misty killed her is that when Misty needs to go get rid of a head and hands, there's a body that's about to go into a crematorium.
Yeah.
So it's like...
You're probably right.
There's that much of a coincidence that this woman died.
So Misty killed 2 people this episode.
Yeah, just this episode alone. Yes.
Just this episode alone, because Jessica Roberts, she doesn't believe her for a second. She's like going to let her go.
Right.
I do think it was kind of risky the way she chose to kill her, because Jessica Roberts might not have asked for her cigarettes back.
Yeah, that was very clever, because the cigarettes were in the trash. It wasn't like they were in her purse and... You know?
No, but it all had to work out. So, you know, sometimes when a scheme like that is set up, I'm like, that might not work out because Jessica Roberts might never have said anything. You know, that's what I kind of wondered, if she even had backup with like the windshield wiper fluid or something, if something was in there. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty nasty that she takes her out like that.
Yeah. That scene was very tense with the two of them, because I got really worried that like maybe Jessica Roberts would actually kill Misty. Like I thought, I was like, okay, Misty's probably going to kill her. Right, because someone's gonna die.
This show is not gonna kill off Misty anytime soon. Like,
but that's what I was worried about, because you have these like premium stars. You have like Juliette Lewis. You have Christina Ricci. I was like, are they the kind of stars that are going to commit to the show for 5 seasons?
Oh.
And so I thought maybe they might kill off Christina Ricci, or maybe Juliette Lewis was actually going to shoot herself in the head. So I was worried that they were going to kill Christina Ricci there.
Okay.
You know, but thank God they didn't. Right?
No, because Misty's the killer.
Yeah.
I think she's willing to go places most people won't, including Jessica Roberts.
Yeah. So, besides that, though, Misty seemed real happy at the reunion. And
of course she did. She has like no conscience. She doesn't feel bad about anything. Like whatever happened in the woods after the plane crash doesn't seem to have affected her negatively at all.
Right. Yeah, she's
psychopath.
Yeah, and that's the way it's almost kind of bookended, right? Because the first episode starts off with her in the woods, and you see her. She's the one that has the mask taken off, and then at the very end, we see that Misty, like who Misty is, right? Like she's this nurse in the nursing home. Like they didn't show Misty until the very like last scene of the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's I always think it's like Misty's like this kind of big evil of the show ultimately.
She's the one who destroys the black box when the plane crashed.
Right.
I mean, they wouldn't
Right.
even be there without her doing that.
Right.
And so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did Misty. I think we covered all the girls, right?
I think we did. Is there any other little points that you think we need to talk about? I had a few questions. Like there were some major scenes that happened where Natalie, Travis, and Javi are just not there.
Yes, and Javi is still MIA.
Oh,
right?
I'll take a little refill too.
Yes. Javi's still MIA.
Javi's still missing. Last we
And
saw, Shauna told him in a scary voice, "Run." Can you do it? You can probably do a better scary run.
I'm not gonna do it, but she said run like that, like. Yeah,
right. It was not Shauna's voice.
Shauna on shrooms is very intense. Yeah.
Right. She tells him to run, and now he's missing. But also, like I said, Travis and Natalie were missing for a lot of this episode when the girls are gathered to eat the bear and they're having the meal and do the prayer. They're not there.
Yeah. Well,
where are they?
That goes on with a question I have, right? Because some of the people in the comments have said that there's like 19 people there and that we don't see some of the people. I saw one girl this episode that's not normally in the group.
Right. Who doesn't have a name.
I saw one girl. Otherwise, all the other characters, I'm like, I know that one. I know that one. You know?
Okay, but where's Travis and Natalie is what I'm asking, though.
Maybe they went to the plane or something. I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of strange they're unaccounted for when some major stuff is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that kind of happens with a show like this where just sometimes people aren't in the right place or, you know, it's like, well, where are they? So
yeah,
we'll see come season 2 what's going on, especially where's Javi? That's a really good question, right?
Where's Javi?
Yeah.
Ralph can make a shirt. Where's Javi?
Yes. And I don't know, Shari's wearing her Riverdale shirt because, you know, she's rocking the yellow.
It's the closest I have to Yellow Jackets.
I was actually going to buy a yellow shirt for today just to be like Yellow Jackets, but I'm actually wearing a shirt from the 1 year that I was a soccer coach at a middle school. So
was it a girls' soccer team?
It was a boys' soccer team, and nobody ate anybody.
Woo!
So yeah, we were good. Yeah, we didn't really travel on a plane or anything. But just as we move on to season 2 and we say goodbye to this season, you know, we just gotta ask you guys in the comments, you know, what do you think is coming in season 2, and where is this show ultimately going? So I have thoroughly enjoyed the show. I am really glad that we chose to watch it. It looks like you guys really enjoyed watching it.
Definitely
too.
One of the best shows I've seen this year.
Yeah, of 2021, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we will absolutely be here for season 2. But like Shari said in the very beginning, we want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel so that when we have new content, it's coming your way. Do you have any questions, any polls or anything to give them?
My only poll is Jackie dead or alive?
Okay. Is Jackie dead or alive? And why don't we throw in where's Javi too?
Oh, and where's Javi? Yeah.
Right? Where's Javi? That should be a t-shirt or something, right? Is Jackie dead? Where's Javi? I'm going to say dead, and I don't know where Javi
I'm saying
is.
alive.
Okay.
And Javi, what's your speculation? My speculation is the plane shell.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I don't know where else he could go.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe he's dead.
Maybe, yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this with us, discussing this with us, and we will see you guys